You're not meant to see what I see. I run it hard, you see what I mean. I found a way, I found truth, I found no lie. I went to hell, I come back with strength in my head. Think I believe your little book of hate and lies. Why don't you open your goddamn eyes? Preach to the power of the air. Follow lies without a care. I'll hear the sound of punishment. A thief that tempt the wicked one. You'll know who I am, Lord of the damned. Step to the ledge, I'll shove you down into the hole. I'm the gatekeeper, the ruler of your soul. You're out of journey, it won't live the tale. Not stop to nowhere, welcome to hell. I've been revealed the majesty. The angel of the bottomless pit. Ruler of the demon, Simon John. The king of time, the lawless one. You know who I am, Lord of the damned. King of time, the lawless one. Ruler of demon, Simon John. Prince of the power of the air. Father of lives without a care. You know who I am, Lord of the damned. Lord of the damned. Lord of the damned.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else involved in watching live YouTube broadcasts of NASCAR races. This is going to be a lot of fun tonight. Brand new series here this evening. Thanks for watching Tarnation TV. It is, of course, almost the end of June, the 29th. Ay. What happened to June? I don't know. Anyway, my name is Blaine Donlin, joined by Andrew Miller in the co-hosting seat this evening. Good evening, Andrew.
And a good evening to you, Blaine. Thank you so much for having me. Calling the race anytime I get to do it, whether it's on my end or yours. So it's always a blast. So thanks, dude. Seriously, this is awesome.
Man, like over at Top Dragster there, you guys were running on Tuesday there. Was it Tuesday or Thursday? Or was it Tuesday last week,
It is
right?
Tuesdays.
Yeah, that was, you and Zach together. Awesome to hear what you guys are doing over there, too. So, yeah, it's always fun. All these different broadcasting channels can get together and do what we do. But tonight, the brand new series here at All-Star Racing. And it was organized entirely, well, not entirely, but probably entirely, by Brian Wolf. Had this idea. Very, very simple. It's going to be 8 races. And you're going to let the game track the points. And whoever has the most points at the end of the 8 races wins the championship. Old school style.
I love it.
Nice, simple way to do it. And of course, we will be at the same track every single week. We are running Talladega. So this is Talladega TR. Now, are you familiar with these different versions of Talladega? Because they're all a little bit different. Some of them are like, 2 wide tracks, or some of them favor the bottom, some of them favor the top.
To my knowledge, the version that they're at least using tonight, and probably the versions that they'll be sticking to, the inside lane obviously is the shortest way around, but the issue with the inside is that it tends to get a little bit tight. So the car will want to push up the track a little bit. There's a little more grip on the middle and outside line. So if you see guys running like single file, they're going to probably be favoring that middle line. But this track is definitely conducive to going 2 and even 3 wide, because you can really make some headway even if you're up next to the wall. So, and with these Aero 88s, which these guys are running tonight, CTS physics, it is going to be very, very competitive. And I think that's why they chose this version, is because of just how conducive it is to really, really tight racing, multi-groove. Rarely are you going to see one lane favored over the other. Based on the track itself, it'll just depend on who's pushing who.
And an Aero 88 mod is one of the coolest ones. I love it. It's been around for so long, people just stick with it because it is that cool, so it's going to be a lot of good. It's got a lot of good racing, a lot of cool. I tend to see too the Aero 88 mod sort of leans itself in the favor of some retro style paint jobs too. So, guys will get I don't want to say basic, but like some of the newer paint jobs are very, very complicated. But back in the old days, and they were a little bit more a more simpler time. So that'll be kind of cool to see what's going on here tonight. Got to get used to a bunch of new names, of course, get used to the paint schemes as well. So
it'll be a good field here, looking like 1920-ish drivers out here tonight.
Yeah, my clock is showing 22, but of course we don't count. So yeah, I'd say around 20. Did you want to grab Brian Wolf and bring him down here, let him talk about his series that he's designed?
I got you.
On the hunt for Brian. Everybody
Here
knows Brian Wolf. Brian Wolf, the man, helped me, start Tarnation TV a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and that's created the series that we are going to be running for the next couple months here every Sunday evening. Brian, the floor is yours, man. Like, how'd this thing come together? What are we doing? How many laps? You've got the bullet points.
Oh my gosh. Let me start off by saying thank you, Blaine, for being here and doing this. This all did come together pretty quickly over the last, actually a couple of months. We've been kicking around the idea for this series, but let me start off by saying, man, I am a nervous wreck. This is my first time kind of taking the reins as admin of a series and kind of putting this stuff together with the scoring and the format and the tracks and the setups and the drivers who are going to participate. It's going to be, this first race I'm not going to lie, it could be hairy. We decided that ASR should have its own Superspeedway series. You know, every league basically has their night that they run. You know, PRL's big into the Superspeedway stuff, so we wanted to bring a Superspeedway series here, but we really wanted to do it kind of old school and try to bring a lot of the fun that this sim had years ago. So we're taking it. Excuse me.
Yeah, buddy.
Excuse me. So we're taking it back to the old way of scoring when the game or the sim, you know, first debuted in 2003. We're going to let the sim do the scoring, and so there's no playoffs, there's no chase, there's no bonus points, this and that. It's going to be scored as the sim scores it, not, you know, barring any you know, penalties and lap penalties and stuff like that for our league rules, but we're going back to the old school. Plus, we decided to shorten this series. Actually, a lot of them go 12 weeks, 15 weeks out there. So we decided to shorten it up a little bit. And we thought the theory in that would be that it's going to create a sense of urgency to these drivers to collect all the points they can in a short time. And, you know, at the same time, maintaining, you know, good, clean, safe racing. You got it. You know, top fives are very relevant. You know, podium finish wins are great. You know, don't get me wrong, but it's not a win and you're in situation. You want to stay consistent, and, you know, consistency and attendance is the key. It is only 8 weeks, one provisional per driver. We've got a few different rules in place as far as the scoring goes. We can go over that a little bit later, but yeah, thank you guys for coming out. This is going to be a lot of fun. Depending on this race tonight could get hairy. I'm not gonna lie.
Talladega is always a lot of fun to watch, dude. Are there any specific rules? Like, how thick's your rule book?
We don't actually have a set of written rules yet. But there are a couple differences from this and other leagues that run these series. On this tonight, for this series, we're putting on a 5 yellow cap, which means if there's 5 incidents or 4 incident cautions, the 5th flag will end the race. This is in an effort to try to keep the cautions down, actually.
So the race could end early.
Yes, it very well could. I'm hoping not. You know, I'm hoping we don't ever have to get to that rule.
So wait, explain that again. So the 5th yellow is the checkered.
Yes. If we get to 4 yellows, 4 cautions. Now they have to be incident yellows, wrecks or whatever. Blown engines, stripped gears, stuff like that are not going to count against that, obviously. You know, or, you know, a dropped connection or something like that is not going to count for that. They have to be, you know, blatant wreck incidents, and we'll determine that throughout the race. But once we get to 4, you know, then announcement will be made under caution that, hey, the next flag ends the race. After the next flag stripe you take, you bring it onto the backstretch and retire it, and that's where you finish. There's going to be some penalties served. We haven't really worked it out for, you know, the driver who might cause that 5th caution. You know, and again, this is to try and avoid. We don't want to be a wreck fest out here, and also for the replay guys, you know, the replay review guys, because we go over these with a pretty, you know, a fine comb, and we want to keep those sessions as short as we can too. You know, going over 4 and 5 or 6, you know, I've seen races and been in races where there's been 17, 18 cautions, and it's no fun.
Right. Yeah. That was going to be my next question. So you guys do post-race reviews. So results at the end of the race are unofficial.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, as I was getting to, this race tonight is we were planning on having Burnt Screwdrivers Raceway. We're having some issues with the RLM and getting our track uploaded there. So we're in hope that you know, that track will make its return. You know, through Rodney Sollins and Ken Roberts and John Godfrey, all created that Burnt Screwdrivers track, which is basic Talladega. So since that, our backup plan was to go to Talladega TR V15 which is what you're going to see here tonight. Now, getting to the hairy part, this is our first race of our first season. Excuse me, 1 second. Our first race of our first season. This is the first time that a lot of these drivers have raced together as a group, and it's also the first time with this setup at this particular track with this mod. Everything about this tonight is kind of brand new.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, we're not new to the format or the style of racing per se, but the setup, the track, the mod, the fact that these guys haven't raced together, some of them have for a long time, but we've got a pretty good mix here. We've got a couple guys from CCR here. We've got some from PRL. Our ASR guys are here. So we're really looking forward to this, just to having fun. That's what we're about. That's
a great thing about all these different leagues and these different series. No two are exactly the same. So you're running an old school point setup. You're running a specific version of Talladega with a specific fixed setup with a different crop of people, and it's no bonus points, no fancy stuff, and it's gonna be good.
It's like I said, we want the theory behind that is we want consistency and attendance to be a big, is going to be a big factor. If you have a couple of bad races and you finished, 15th, 16th, whatever, and then you have 3 good ones behind it where you're top 5 in every week, you're right back in it for that championship race. You know what I mean? We want those points to be close, and not this elimination stuff. You know what I mean? You could very well be in this thing all the way through it to try to get, there's been talk of, there's been hints of, we're going to offer a trophy and some kind of awards thing at the end of this. And then, we're young. Everything is brand new to us here. It's my first time adminning a series and kind of taking the reins that these guys have let me do. And this is going to be the very last thing that I have to do for my 25-year legacy. You know what I mean? We've got our own track now. Our brand, Fluid Studios, is on board to sponsor. Bryant Motorsports is on to sponsor. And thank God for these guys at ASR, because, Dave Chin and these guys here have been just great in helping out and pushing the buttons and, helping me get this together and, doing the points behind the scenes and stuff like that.
That's the thing too. Like, did ASR never have a series that operated on a Sunday? That's a very popular day of the week to run some racing.
Yeah, these guys would have to tell you a little bit about the history, and I appreciate you having me in here the first week, because throughout the weeks here coming up, because we're going to broadcast the entire series, all 9 weeks, and I say 9 weeks because the last race will be pushed back a week, but eventually you guys are, we're going to learn about the history of the league, and it's a lot about these drivers and stuff. Plus, we're kind of waiting in the wings to see if anybody else is going to join, and things like that.
Sounds like they're chirping to you on the Whispers channel. Yeah.
They are. Yeah, we're actually going to appoint some new admins, some different things to this. Ken Roberts, number 55. You know who he is. He's been appointed our admin to clear black flags and stuff like that. Greg Palmer. That's who you just heard whispering in my ear. So we're getting ready to go. They're halfway through qualifying. So yeah, that's about all I have. I mean, yeah, I can't really think of anything else. I mean, we got a great mix of drivers here. I hope everything works out on the broadcasting end. I know we had some issues through Cannon's last couple races with the core I or whatever, but we should have that all tucked away.
Yeah, I joined in here about half an hour ago and instantly got kicked out. And I'm like, oh yeah, that core. I just put the core in. It's been fine ever since. So hopefully, yeah, this... Well, we're going to find out pretty quick, but it looks like it's good. Looks like we're good to go. And now that we're into qualifying, and your happy hour is about 5 minutes long, I would imagine.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I'm going to have you throw me back up there during happy hour. Tonight, actually, we don't have to do driver introductions. You can kind of, I mean, you know who's who around here. There might be a couple new faces to you. There actually is to me. But I just didn't have time to put that stuff together. And this kind of snuck up on me here. And, you
That's
always
all
got
good.
those stragglers at the last minute. What mod are we running? And
Yeah.
they don't even have a car or anything like that. It's like, oh, come on, man, please. No.
Yeah. Happens all the time. But yeah, in happy hour, we will go through the qualifying order and we'll just take a look at whoever's on the track. We can fill you all in with that information before we get going green.
Yeah, I think the racing is going to be exciting. It could get hairy. Again, for a lot of these guys being together in this group, it's new track, new mod,
Yeah.
they've never raced together. A lot
Great
of these
mod.
guys, some of them have and some of them haven't. So they're going to have to feel each other out, so to speak, throughout the upcoming weeks. And it's going to be interesting to say the least. I really would hate to bring in that, that five yellow cap rule, but hopefully we won't have to.
Yeah, hopefully not. That's a good thing though. Like you said, it will deter the wrecks, and it's moderate damage. So, but it is a super speedway. So, yeah, hopefully everything goes good. But yeah, this track will be good. I mean, all these Talladega tracks are a little bit different, but it'll be cool if we can get burnt screwdrivers working. They're a little bit darker.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I really enjoyed doing videos with that track and this one, as far as Fluid Studios. But thanks to Bryant Motorsports and Dave Chin for sponsoring this and taking care of the broadcasting end, and we just want to have fun here, man. Bottom line is fun, and I'm about to tell these guys in the drivers' meeting here in a minute because they just went to 4 minutes. But if you want to come here and race, I'll say this live on air. If you want to come here and race and be a pleasure, it's no problem. If you want to come here and race and not be a problem or not be a pleasure, then that's no problem too.
Yeah, don't let the door hit you.
Right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
the main thing is we want to have fun. I think it's going to be fun. All these guys pretty much get along together, and hopefully, things won't get too heated. I don't want to have to put any fires out like we do other places, but anytime you get a group of 20 or more guys together, it's bound to happen that some tempers might flare and feelings might spill over, but we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, man, it should be a lot of fun. I guess we got to put you back up there. You got to talk to your boys here, don't you?
Yeah. Let me talk to these guys for a minute, and we're gonna go green at about 8:00. Right about 8 o'clock.
Cool. Yeah, Andrew, kick this guy out of here.
All right,
You got it.
guys. Thank you guys again. Have
Thanks,
fun.
Brad.
Best of luck, Brian.
Have fun with it, Blaine.
Brian Wolf. Get on track here as these guys are going around in circles. Doing some. Why does that say? Yeah, whatever. It's all good.
All right.
I was
Yeah,
going over the season standings. Oh, there it goes. I was wondering why that was on the screen, but I fixed it, man. I fixed it.
Hey.
The season standings don't exist because this is race number 1. It was just throwing me off. It was covering up my ticker. Anyhow, while we were talking to Brian Wolf, I quickly got out of the track and installed the camera pack that I know and love from NR Clips on Reddit. Guy does custom camera packs for all these tracks and whatnot, and this is a cool one. I noticed right away that I had forgot to install that camera set for Talladega. So yeah, if you're ever poking around on the NR 2003 Reddit, there's a guy in there, NR Clips, and some alternate camera angles. It's always pretty cool, especially for the more popular tracks like Talladega, Dover, Michigan. Get a little bit of a different look. But like I said, right now in happy hour, checking out some of these cars. See, I said too, it'll lead to some vintage looking paint schemes. You got Roberts there in that 55, that Mountain Dew thing. Sullins has the Black Rifle Coffee as always, but it looks super sharp. the old school looking paint jobs on these old school looking cars. As you can see, your hosts, me, Rod, and Andrew. Rod racing real cars on Sundays, sometimes can't make it, and he is unable to make it this evening.
So you're stuck with me instead. I'm
Yes.
so sorry, everybody.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's why on Sundays we tend to roll with 3 broadcasters, just because sometimes Rod can't make it. So he did send me a text, actually. See what happened. I sent him all the information, so not going to make it tonight, buddy. Loading the cart up now. Costly day, he says.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hard crash on the whole right front. Off. Bent the axle. Still got third, maybe second place, depending on how they decide it. I'll be there in a week for sure. No racing. Wow. Major damage
impressive.
to the old cart. Yeah, but still finished the race. So it must have happened in the final
On the
lap.
podium, no less.
Yeah, with half a car. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, we got well, we could just flip around in the field here. Let's see if we can get some different camera angles going here. Thanks to Tyler Mallon for designing FreeCam. We can do this kind of stuff. Ed Findlay here in the 80. Fire chicken on the hood.
Vintage looking car.
Mingus in the 12. ASR Slingshot, also known as Gary Mingus.
Oh, it's Mingus. I didn't even know that.
Yep, yeah, his nickname will be Slingshot.
Okay.
There's the 38 of Sullins and Robertson the 55. Randy Wan the 21. That's all we
Always
got on
running
track
his
right
Alabama colors.
Yeah.
And pole sitter for tonight's race is Randy Waugh.
Oh, cool.
With 52.447, only 4 thousandths quicker than second place Kelly Causey, who will be starting in second in the number 13.
The
And it
Cubs.
looks like yeah, we're probably gonna have 20 drivers. This is gonna be good. I'm excited. I was fascinated by that five caution rule that he was talking about. I've never heard of that before, but 66 lap race. You do kind of hope that they don't get to that point, but hey, we'll find out. Yeah, a lot of different mixed styles in this, so see that I think that will kind of play into how these guys race.
And that's the thing too, like we were saying before, with every league in this thing, no two operate exactly the same. So you're gonna have that rule there sets that apart too. Like, hey man, we'll let 4 go, but 5 major incidents, that's the end of the race. So like I said too, obviously if there's an accident because of a blown motor, that doesn't count.
Okay, buddy, fired up here. Remember, one switch
Yeah,
at a time.
that's fair enough. I mean, can't tell you how many times I've brought out a caution because I did not throw in the clutch soon enough.
Oh yeah. We are gridding up.
Okay, buddy, fired up here. Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff on.
All right. 113 on the front row, 38.55. Definitely not able to see all the cars at the same time, but
Yeah, this is weird because this happened last time, and I actually have the real core this time.
yeah, I think it is something core related. I do remember another league that I ran in that ran a more unusual core, and this was the same thing that happened. So I think that it's just some kind of a limit with the number of cars that can be visible at any given point. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's what it seems to happen. Is like you focus on a section, and then you can see everybody around you, but then the cars in the back will kind of blink in and out, and it's weird because these guys use RLM, and usually they just use the high bandwidth core. The high bandwidth core is just kind of like a stock thing straight across the board. But if they've customized it, yeah, that's too bad. I thought I had a core issue connecting to the race. The one that I was supplied with, put it in there and stayed connected, no problem. But Now we're gonna have.
I guess it's fair to be in connection in the server than not.
Yeah, it's cars that disappear though are not good, because then if something happens in the back, you can't see it, right? That's the problem there. But
yeah, that's kind of the thing.
they've got Kelly Causey on the outside in the 13.
Classic looking thing. Here we go. This car is down.
Yep.
Coming through the tri-oval.
They get lane choice, but obviously you're going to keep that bottom, especially here at Talladega. As we come around through the tri-oval, we will get some green flag race, the first ever green flag here at the ASR Superspeedway Series. Sponsored by Bryant Motorsports. Want to thank them again. Bryant Motorsports sponsoring this broadcast. And Fluid
Roberts,
Studios.
I think may have started like in third gear or something. That was odd.
Oh, did he drop back?
Oh yeah, he was like, I think he qualified fourth, and now he's at the rear of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did not get going. I think he was just in a high gear there. I think we've all been there once or twice.
Already 3 wide. Doesn't take these guys long.
Goodness. Splitting Ozzy there. Middle. Everyone's pretty well formed up there on the inside. Randy Waugh leads lap number 1 ahead of Sullins, and Mike Mangialardi there. It's a name that I haven't seen very much. I haven't run with a lot of these guys in a very, very long time. I haven't been racing very much, honestly, period.
Oh, yeah.
Few starts at SMO, but in reality, yeah, I've been more focused on the broadcast side of things.
Yeah, it's funny how it comes and goes. You get on the track, you do a lot of racing, you kind of put the broadcast to the side, and you're like, oh, maybe I'll broadcast again, and then put the wheel to the side and do the broadcasting thing. Yeah, Randy Waugh first. Gotta say hi to
Dennis
Corey, of
McCarthy
course.
coming forward.
McCarthy in the 024. Yeah, I was just looking at that car there about a lap ago, and now he's already up to 4th. Classic UPS looking thing. The brown and gold. Right behind him with Kelly Causey. Chuck T in the 18. Gary Mingus right behind him.
Checking on
Who's that? That's Postal in the 7 on the bottom. 47 of Brad Otto. Ed Fidley in the 80. The 29 there, Brian Wolf. Batman. ASR Berge in the 81. C. Jackson 035 in the 034. Berge, C. Jax, Godfrey back there in the 711. Roberts right behind him. And there's Mr. Chin in the 88. One of the top dogs here at the ASR.
As they have migrated up to that middle lane, I was thinking that they would eventually. It's just so much easier to drive that lane as compared to the bottom. If you want to defend, yeah, the bottom's the place to be. But when you're just riding around like these guys are probably going to be doing here for the next 16 laps until they have to pit, that's going to be the lane you want to do it. Well, I say that. And Sullins looks to either drop to the back or make a move. With how high he's going, I think that's voluntary by the looks of it.
Yeah, maybe dropping back, just maybe, getting a feel for everything. You see these guys, they all know what they're doing. I know most of these names, they're definitely, they're not rookies.
No.
But that also just might be a thing. Maybe you're lining up for the first pit stop or something. You just want to kind of be back there with your buddies.
I mean, a lot of his buddies, you could say, are definitely back here, like Ken Roberts, like John Godfrey, and probably even Causey at this point, who's back here as well. Ooh, we got one actually one of them, that was Jax. But but no, yeah, a lot of those guys they run together. Also at a league like RTG or PRL,
Right.
so they know how they're going to run with each other, and I know a thing or two about how they race. I ran over there at RTG for a while, and boy, howdy, do they know how to get it done at a track like this. They are dangerous once they get up there, and I will expect them to be dangerous once they do get up to the front at some point. And I know they will. Ooh, I bumped there for Law, but still leading ahead of Mangialardi, McCarthy, and company.
Yeah, I'm thinking the middle line, no matter what track you're running, what version of this track you're running, always seems to be the favorite just because it doesn't really, you can run full bore around the whole thing. If you're on the bottom, it might wash up a bit depending on entry and exit. And up top, I like running up top, but you need a lot of help up there. You're pretty stable running in the... You're going to be pretty stable running in that. Oh, these guys at the back just got a little bit fanned out here. I was trying to find a good camera angle of that one. But yeah, you're pretty solid running that middle lane. And of course, you'll know when they're getting ready to pit because they are going to kind of come down a little bit, claim that yellow line.
Everybody's a little bit spread out right now. Ooh, goodness, I was a little close there with Mingus and Wolf. Thankfully, they were able to sort that out. But yeah, everybody's a little more, I don't want to say disorganized, but it is kind of the case right now. Ooh, goodness, we almost went 4 wide there.
Just a little bit.
If the 016 had gone even higher. But yeah, I think kind of to what Brian was alluding to us, just you have a lot of different guys. Like, yeah, you've got your CCR guys, you've got your PRL guys, and you've got your ASR guys here. Everybody's going to run a little bit differently. It's a different setup than what they're used to, and it's very possible that not a lot of these guys are even used to running the Air 88s and how the hitbox works and everything. So
I was just going to bring up the hitbox, yeah, because every mod, even though they're running Craftsman Truck Series physics, the borders of these models will be in a different spot than the trucks. It should be a little bit longer. All that kind of nonsense comes into play too, of like, how close can you get before you bumper hook someone? Oh,
like that!
Which,
oh, my goodness!
Gracious me! Oh, we got Finley on his roof. Couple guys on the roof.
016 was upside down as well.
Yeah, the 016 of who's that? CCR Semo.
Adam, full name Adam Simonic. According to TeamSpeak.
Oh, is that Simonic? Ah, there we go. Okay.
It was a little weird with the cars disappearing thing, but yeah, that may have been a bump gone wrong there.
Yeah, we got it on replay here. We'll put it in slow-mo so we can see it. It kind of happened. Yeah, It was Simonic.
Yeah, he got out of sorts.
Yeah, he tagged
somehow,
the wall.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I see Finley upside down there too. But yeah, that was strange. It's like he went high. I don't know if that was like a case of lag or something, but something was definitely a little bit off with that. And that's just, he kind of bounced off the wall and then came back down. That looked almost mechanical of some sort.
Yeah, like you could have, like, even your cat jumps up on your lap or something, and your foot slips off the gas pedal for half a second. All that kind of stuff. The real life things that can happen.
Solons was involved, but it looks like he's just gonna mostly spin it. I think he'll be fine. John Godfrey came to a stop there. I think only this 016 looks like he's going to be in really bad shape. I don't even think that the 80s is going to be in very bad shape, even though he went upside down. I actually don't think that he'll be too bad off because he didn't take very hard hits at any point.
Yeah, moderate damage will save you. I'm guessing most of these guys will come down to pits.
They're actually pitting right now.
Somebody's staying out there, though. I didn't see who it was.
Yeah, that's our main man there. That's the 29.
Yeah, apologies for this this core. I don't understand why it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's just like an older core, probably. I bet you it's like a thing that's meant to try to keep like connections more stable or frame rates more stable. That's probably the mentality of why it does that.
Oh, I see. I mean, it might purposely be deleting some cars just to take it easy on some older computers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's my
Okay.
guess. Whereas newer cores,
Can a
or newer
core do that?
since it's,
I thought that would be more of a graphic setting.
I mean, I would think so too, but I don't know. Like, I've adjusted my graphics, and it's never changed anything. So, I mean, actually, I can confirm that. But I'm pretty sure that even if I do like max out the number of cars on track, it's not good. Yeah, I have maximum opponents drawn at 30, and
Yeah,
it's still
mine's
doing it. So
42 behind and front for me.
yeah, it's probably, or unless maybe it's a behind thing. Although you just said yours maxed out too, and it's doing the same thing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably just the core, something built into the core. For yeah, like you said, like older computers just kind of defaults into something that's more sustainable for them, whereas newer cores, they don't have that problem.
Yeah. I just noticed Spider-Man is driving the Batman car. Thank goodness they're both DC. Wham, wham, wham.
Yeah, that would be a bit embarrassing.
Let's have a Marvel character drive the DC comic car. So I wonder if Wolf goes in now. Because he skipped going in last
Here
time.
it comes.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We'll lead the lap, get the bonus points. It's only an 8-race season.
I'm pretty sure
counts.
the original. Yeah, I was going to say, I think the original this format still has bonus points for laps led and most laps and all that.
I think it does, yeah. I think you get the bonus. It's all very simplified versions of kind of what some leagues do now. But yeah, you get the 5 bonus points for leading the lap. And then you get an extra 5 if you lead the most.
Okay. Yeah, now it's coming back to me.
So you can walk out of a race with 185 points. Because you get 180 for the win, because you're also going to lead that lap. And then you get an extra 5 points if you led the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's right. As a pace car brings them down.
Just curiously looking through the the core I to see if I can find something different.
Upcoming broadcasts here at TarnationTV.com. July 6th will be next Sunday. We'll be right back here again, sponsored by Bryant Motorsports and Auto Sales. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at ASR Superspeedway Series. We might still be running this version of Talladega. They might switch it to burnt screwdrivers if they can figure out how to do that. And then a couple days after that one, on July 8th, that'll be the Tuesday, we return to the Maverick Cup Series, goes back to Daytona. And that'll be their only race in July. And then, of course, the following Sunday, the 13th, we're back here again. So it's an 8-week season here. 7 weeks in a row, and then we do an SMO race on Sunday. So they already had that claimed. So the final race for this series here, they're just going to bump it back 1 week. So they'll have an off week when we're doing an SMO tribute to Hawk.
Oh,
SMO,
yeah, I forgot that's.
Yeah, they locked that race in like last August. They're like, hey, man.
I've got to try to make it for that one.
Can you do a broadcast or something? Like, yeah, sure. Like when? 2025, July, whatever, or August, whatever. So like a year ago, almost a year ago, they got me to book that one in there. So
well, it's a good thing you're still doing it.
I think I've done it now. This will be the 3rd one I've done for Hawk. And then Tedder is another one we do.
Lights are out on the pace car field, getting doubled up. There is so much stuff in these INIs that I have no idea what I'm looking at, so I'm going to stop doing that.
Yeah. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. That's a cool warning.
Looks smooth on my end.
Yeah, it looks smooth on my end too. I drop it.
I think I get that too. I wouldn't worry about. I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, you look good.
I send out a pretty decent amount of bit rate, like an 8,000 kilobit per second bit rate to keep it sharp and smooth, 60 frames per second. But I think what happens, it's stabilized now. I might have just had a hiccup and it dropped a couple thousand frames there in the last couple of minutes, which is really nothing. Okay, yeah, so there's been 250,000 frames have already been sent out. I missed 20. So I don't know why it gave me that error. So, I mean, those are frames you literally would not see. It's not even a second because we broadcast at 60 frames per second. So
I need a better setup.
It's all in the internet connection.
That's true. Even though I'm hardwired, I think I'm on, I don't know. Maybe I should try up in the bitrate again and just see what happens.
My upload is still, like, my download is 1 gigabyte, but my upload is only 30 megabits per second, which is hilarious. If I could get 1,000 up and 1,000 down, you could stream like 8K 9 times and still not run out of bandwidth. Anyway, Randy Waugh bringing the field back around here, has successfully led almost every lap except for one, of course, which was led by Brian Wolf. Green flag in the air, started lap 14.
Chuck T up here on the outside lane, getting a little bit of a shove there from Slingshot Mingus. That's going to draw him side by side with the 21. That will actually give the advantage to the 18 here. And especially now that he's going to have a push. And Dennis McCarthy is not quite up to... Oh, here we go. 3 wide. That's a move there from Roberts. And everybody's going to go with him. Now the 18's going to come down in front of them there.
Nice.
Ooh, man, they're getting a little racy.
Wild how not even one full lap and Waugh has now dropped back to 5th place. Shout out to Corey, of course, if he's watching live. Chuck T takes over the lead. And if you want to be followed by anybody at a super speedway, the 55 of Ken Roberts is the guy. And then Kelly Causey right behind him in that 13. John Godfrey in the 711.
There's some heavy hitters here on super speedways there, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And
especially
5th,
Talladega. Yeah. Especially Talladega.
You ain't kidding.
I believe our fuel window on... Ooh, Robert's trying to get underneath.
Oh, man, he's forcing the issue. Woo.
Wow.
A save.
Yep.
But, yeah, the 18 was having none of that, and the 55 was like, yes, you do, and... Oh, that could have been very ugly, 3 wide.
Yeah. Anybody else, I would have lost it. I don't know if I would have been able to hold on to that, man. 190 mile an hour going down the flat like that. Jeez.
Yeah, it would have been hard pressed to even be able to hold the position that Ken Roberts is holding, but he's got John Godfrey behind him. Oh, goodness, 88.
Somebody going for a drive back there.
I don't know if they saved it or not.
3 wide, row 2.
He did save it.
Yep.
Just going to lose the draft, I think.
Was that David Chin?
Yeah.
ASR DC? Yeah, he might lose the draft for that one. We're going to go back and take a look at that. Just give these guys a second to get to the line because it looks like it might be a drag race. Randy Waugh will lead that lap.
I'll keep it live here.
And we'll go into replay
viewers.
mode.
So just a little something to note here since these guys pitted around, oh boy, what was that lap? 12, 13-ish? Oh my gosh, they're getting at it again. Oof. Almost had a moment there in midfield with Mark Paglia and Rodney Sullins. But they all kept it together. Yeah, it is a little hairy out here, but so far they're keeping it clean, and that's the big thing. What I was getting at there was just when they were going to have to pit again will probably be around lap 33-ish would be my guesstimate. So that should put them on 2 more stops.
I can't remember the window on the 2X. Is it 17 or so laps?
Probably more like 18, maybe 19.
Okay.
20 is pushing it unless you're saving fuel, but it could be doable if you're at like the rear of the field.
Unless you're like Jeffrey Elliott and somehow can get an extra 5 laps.
No, that's a full.
You know, yeah, like, and just run the lowest line possible. Mark Paglia
I think
there in
Jeffrey's
9th.
done it a few times.
Yeah.
Someone that I will always will jump into my head as someone who will try to make stupid amounts of fuel mileage. It's Seth Cole. That's a
I love
flat
that
out
though.
racing.
Oh no. The 18.
Oh, yep. When he vanished as he was spinning.
Yeah, that happened with Chin. I lost him in the replay because he went around.
Yeah, I can't get to him. Let me try and. That was the 18.
I think it was
you said?
Chuck. Yeah. I think it was Chuck T. He was up front. Faded to
I'll
the
get
back.
a replay here myself real quick.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian
Oh,
was
that
worried
actually looks
about,
like he actually lagged.
Oh. Yeah, Brian was worried about how good the racing would be here tonight with all these guys kind of mixing together, but it's been flawless as far as I'm concerned. I mean, there's been one accident, but hasn't been, you know, any crazy stuff going on. There's always going to be problems. I think Postal, I'm looking at that number 7. That looks like a generic. I don't believe I got his paint scheme. That number 7 on the side of the car looks like the generic font.
I can't tell. That's the same one that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But it looks like with Chuck T, I don't know if that was lag or if that was just the core doing its core thing. But that honestly, like, assuming that it was not lag, that just looked like a bad bump and sent him around, but he was below the racing surface the entire time and no caution.
Well, Randy Waugh led that last lap, but he's not going to lead this one. John Godfrey in the 7-Eleven being pushed by Kelly Causey way out front there. And the 024 Dennis McCarthy, last lap over the line at number 7. Now he's up in 3rd. Shows you how fast this track can change on you, you know? You get in with the right line and you can gain almost 10 spots sometimes. You're like, where did that guy come from? They're like, well, just made the right move and went to the front.
Yeah, he knows those moves. He knows what to do. Oh, goodness, that's going to be bad. Oh, goodness.
Gracious! It's bad, but we can't see it.
Thankfully, I had a good view of it that whole way, and that was just an accordion effect. Slingshot got into whoever that was in front of him, and that just stacked them all up.
Garvey will take the yellow. We'll go and load up. See if we can catch what happened back there.
I just tried to hotkey it to go to my own old screen. I have to remember I'm not the one broadcasting this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think the 12 just ended up bumper hooking off of the Ronnie Sullins, and that checked everybody up, and nothing that Randy Waugh could do.
Yeah, we're taking a look here.
Oh, it was a hit there from, who was that? That was Jax, the 034.
Oh, looked like Mingus was actually almost gonna. He didn't want to bump draft Sullins going into the corner like that, and that I think he lifted a little bit and just got turned around there.
Yeah, that was just the accordion effect.
Yeah.
And even credit to Sullins for holding on to that. Credit to a lot of these guys for getting around it.
So that is incident caution number 2.
Yeah, there were a couple other iffy moments during that run there, but only second caution. And I feel like all these guys are probably going to pit here because this will actually put them in a very, very close realm of making it on one stop.
Right, they do it here or under this yellow, they'll be able to make it the full way, is what you're saying.
Yeah, actually, well, now that I'm saying it out loud, got 44 to go at the stripe. Oof. Like, if you top it off, coming to 1 to go, there's a chance you can one-stop it, but you're going to have to really stretch those 2 fuel runs. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Now, even if you do have to two-stop it from here, instead of taking half a can, you only take a splash, and obviously tires not really meaning anything in a track like Talladega. That's going to be a big, big difference. As Kelly Causey has one race off.
We're following Godfrey because he went in first, and it looks like Causey. Yeah, Causey got the race off. Mingus, of course, decided to stay out. And Roberts is being billed in first place, so we'll follow him. Driving that Buick.
Yeah, what different manufacturers do we have out here? I'm
Back in
curious.
1988, yeah, you're going to have like Oldsmobiles and Buicks and stuff like that.
I swear on everything I saw a Mustang. Like, a modern
why not?
Mustang on one of these templates. I don't know who it was.
Might as well, eh? I mean,
Oh, it's the 016.
the 016? Let me see here.
That's a modern Mustang on the Air 88 template. That's awesome.
It is. The 016 of Adam Simonik rocking a newer Mustang version. LED
Monte
headlights on a
Carlos.
1988 Mustang.
Firebirds. Thunderbirds, rather. Excuse me. Oh my god. Goes to show what my car knowledge is.
Yeah, I don't have much car knowledge either. I just call everything a Ferrari. I see some Corvette, and I'm like, yeah, cool Ferrari. It's Corvette. And I'm like, yeah, don't care, dude. Don't care.
As Ken Roberts brings his number 55 Ferrari down pit road.
Yep. Sick Lamborghini.
Let's see who we got up here. That'll be Kelly Causey leading in his McLaren.
Yep. 28 Mark Pagula and his brand new Lexus. Sharp looking paint job there too. Quality care.
I'm pretty sure a couple guys run, or at least one or two guys run Lexus over at Maverick, don't they?
Maverick has everything. Yeah, there's Hondas and Kias and all kinds of stuff. The
Although
only two
it-
Kias are the Snyders.
Oh, yeah. If there is one thing that I don't think Maverick has that Hobo does, yes, I'm plugging myself, I know, but
Might as well.
Hobo's got a Cadillac.
Ooh.
That Cadillac is, I think, second in points at this point. Or no, he's going to be leading the points. Yeah, he finished third at Pocono. What am I talking about?
When's your next race over there, Top Dragster on YouTube?
It will be this Tuesday. Hobo will be at Atlanta. I think there'll be SBP 07 will be the one that they're running. So that's going to be really cool. And
Oh, okay.
and it's funny that we actually have some CCR guys in this because we'll actually be bringing the season finale of their Aero 88 series on Thursday night for CCR.
Oh, cool. See, now you mentioned that the version of Atlanta you're running is the safer barrier one. Is that much of a difference from the original track? Like, isn't the safer barrier project, did they just, isn't that all they did? Was just put the barriers in?
Oh boy. Probably. It's honestly been so long since I've seen that track that'll be the first time that I'm going to be seeing it in a while. I really couldn't tell you. But what I do know is that I do know that version or similar versions like it do run very similar or the same as the game track, which is going to make the racing very tough, very competitive, but not quite to the level of like a modern Atlanta, but close. It'll be very close, but with way more tire wear.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I guess the safer barrier project too, the track's a little bit more narrow.
I guess technically, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
As it looks like Bergie's going to get a lap back here. He somehow fell a lap down.
ASR Bergie going for his lucky dog drive.
And 18 drivers officially start the race. It looks like a couple that were in the server that did not actually start. So with Bergie getting his lap back here, that will be every single driver still in the race and on the lead lap.
Yep, everybody's still running.
It's good to see.
Yep, no engine failures. Damage is on.
Don't
Even
say
if
that
damage
out
is
loud.
off. Yeah, well, even if damage is off, there is still damage that can happen, like engine damage, tire damage.
Yeah,
The body damage
it's
is
moderate.
Nobody really
Maybe
runs
it was a
realistic
little.
damage, which is cool because it's a different damage model. You know, you get to see a lot more damage on a realistic race.
You know, it's funny you say that Hobo Cup actually does run realistic.
Right, actually, because I was watching, I think it was your broadcast last week, where they run open with weather on and realistic damage.
They don't run weather.
Oh, they don't? Okay.
They do run fixed weather. CCR runs random weather.
Okay.
I think I think they run moderate damage, but I can't remember for sure. It might be realistic over there, but I do know it's open set.
Yeah.
For CCR. Yeah, CCR and Hobo are probably two of the more hardcore leagues that you'll find as far as like the difficulty level, I guess is the way to put it.
Well, the open setup and then of course with the realistic damage sometimes, you know, it's a big deal. It's cool.
If you throw in realistic weather, the difference between a clear day and a cloudy day is like it's like you're running in either just regular weather or in Arctic conditions where your car's making like 50 more horsepower. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And then the wind coming down a back straight or wherever the wind's coming from, you know, affects you coming in and out of the corners. It's cool how that all happens. At the beginning of lap 26, Kelly Causey, green flag, we're rolling.
Not the best restart there for Dennis McCarthy. He's going to slip back. I think he got a little close to Godfrey there, a little closer than he wanted. There's the 88 after having a moment on the backstretch during that last run. He is now up here in the top 5. Just got up into 5th place there. That's pretty cool.
Yep. David Chin in the 88.
Oh, no. They're
Somebody
wrecking
rolling
again.
back there.
Oh, and he is on a sign. That's Jax. And Roberts, I think, also spun it. And yeah, there's number 3. So,
Yep. It was Jax. Let's see here. So, oh yeah, looks like Simonek and Jax. We'll get a helicopter view of this. Good push by Wah on Jax. Oh, is the push by Roberts?
Oh, yeah, it was Roberts.
It looked like a good push. I just don't think that he was ready for it. Simonek didn't look like he was ready for it.
It was either that or some kind of a lag out because I don't know if these guys are seeing it the same way that we're seeing it with cars disappearing and stuff, but it almost looked like that may have played a part in it, at least from this view.
Yeah, it's a very weird issue with the core at ASR. It's the only time I've ever experienced it. And even when we get it directly from the admins, like Brian sent me that core, which allowed me to connect. I can't use RLM. I haven't been able to make it work since they updated it. So we just use the IP to connect to the race, which is sort of like the same thing. You just have to make sure you have that core because whatever they load into RLM will automatically load into everybody's machine. So it should be fine, technically. I'm wondering if that maybe somehow, because I'm not using RLM to load that core, maybe that's just throwing it off a little bit. I don't know why, though, because I've never had a problem anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What I do know, though, is that everybody's pitting for a good reason here, and that's because we are at 40 to go. We are definitely It's going to be 2 pretty long runs, but you are definitely in one-stop territory now.
Yep. Yeah, quick top up there for Randy Waugh. There's Mark Paglia there.
'88 staying out here along with 7.
Now, I wonder if they're staying out to lead a lap, or maybe that's just a strategy deal.
No, like if you save enough fuel here, if you're the 7, the 88, or the 80, in theory, you could probably save enough to make it on one stop, and then this will gain you, of course, the track position. I just don't know if at a super speedway if that's quite as crucial, but just kind of based on what we've seen, there's been a lot of comers and goers, so it's really just a matter of where you want to be on the racetrack. If you feel better restarting up at the front, then this is definitely the right call. I know for me, it is a lot better for me to either be at the very front or the very back. Nowhere in between.
Oh, you don't like being in traffic, eh?
Absolutely not. Not in a super speedway. Unless it's only like 10 guys or something. But anything more than that, I'm like, make me the leader or last place.
Right,
As long as I'm in the draft. That's the big thing. As long as I'm in the draft. Otherwise, first or last. Either way.
All the miles we've put around Talladega, man, and it just never gets old. Such a unique track, you know, like there's lots of super speedways around. And when Brian first said that he was coming up with a super speedway series, I was thinking, oh, that'd be kind of neat. Like maybe we'll do Dega, Daytona, and then you've got to get into like the fictional ones, you know, like Armory Digital has a cool one, and you know, you can get into these fictional super speedways to make up your 8 races. And he's like, no, we're just going to run, you know, burnt screwdrivers for the 8 weeks. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool too.
Yeah, everyone will get pretty acclimated to that. There is one super speedway out there that I think is very underrated, and that's Pensacola.
Okay.
I don't think I've seen an online race run there since, oh boy, at least that I know of personally, like 7 years.
Oh, wow. How big is it?
I think it's 3 miles even.
Right, because the Coca-Cola Speedway that came with the game too was a 3 mile even.
Yeah, but that Coca-Cola is like banked to a stupid degree. It's a fun track. Don't get me wrong. It's really cool. But Pensacola is like a good in between of like it has. I think it's banked almost the same as Talladega, maybe a little bit less. It's wide as heck, and it's a perfect oval. There's no tri-oval. There's no dog leg.
Oh, okay. No fancy stuff.
Yeah,
classic
it's
oval.
It's like Dragon Net, just a little bit longer and wider.
Some of those other ones, like the Hogs tracks, where they're like 15 lanes wide, 9 miles long.
Oh yeah, like Pigs Creek, I think.
Yeah, the Pigs tracks. Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 of them, and they're all insane. It's just so dumb.
They're pretty wild.
Yeah, I mean, you put the Cup mod on there, and you got no plates. You're doing 290 miles an hour. The cars almost float off the track. You're going so fast.
That sounds like an awesome time. I don't know.
They're fun, but I mean, once there's a crash, you're gone because it's like an 8 mile long lap. So you're never going to see anybody for another 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of silly, right? At least these like 2.5 to 3 mile, if you get into like the 3 mile range, that's about as far as you really want to make it.
Yeah, I mean, but good grief, Rainbow Road also exists for this game, so you know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the best thing is, you want to do it? It probably exists.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Road.
We've got a Rodney Sullins fan in the chat there.
Okay, number 38 just got turned in. Let's do it. Oh, just got tuned in. Let's do it. You know.
We got the right number 38.
I'm thinking Sandra. Yeah, I'm thinking Sandra Sullins.
Our numbers 3 and
related.
Well, right now, Rodney Solon's running P5. Looks like they've opted for a single file restart this time.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
trying to, because remember, there's only one more caution that these guys can have without it ending the race. 2 more and it's over.
Yeah. The 3 and the 8 is currently running in 5th as per request. Sandra, we got you covered. He's back there behind Kelly Causey. Behind him, Mark Paglia.
Ooh, there's a deadly duo there, Sullins and Paglia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mangialardi and Waugh. Dennis McCarthy back there in 9th. Behind him, Godfrey. Brad Otto in the 47 in position number 11. Chuck T in the 18 back there in 12. He went for a ride there a while back.
And these top 3 have opted to stay out, so they're banking on the track position to give them a bit of an advantage here. But we'll see if that'll play out as far as the strategy goes.
Interesting, because I don't think they'll be able to make it, right?
If they clutch or they save fuel under that caution, they might be able to.
Yeah.
It's going to be awfully close if you stay in the lead. I don't know. This could be cool.
And then maybe they're banking on that one more caution, then they will be able to save enough.
Yeah, a single file here, so hopefully we'll be able to. We'll see what kind of run we can get going here, as everybody's already getting a little antsy.
Oh, you know you got the right
Shot
numbers,
coming.
the 3 and the 8, the Earnhardt numbers. I never even realized that.
Oh, the 7 just had a problem.
Black flag for Jax.
And Finley is upside down again, along with Postal. That looked like some kind of a mechanical failure on the 7. He was not getting going. Well, I wonder if he lost 4th.
Oh, we can ride along with him here. Let's go in the cockpit. We'll back it up before the green here and see. On board with the 7 of Postal.
He was getting going pretty good. He gave a good shot to the 88. And then it just died.
Yeah, he's bouncing off 9,000.
Yeah, he lost 4th. So I don't think they're going to... If our guess is correct, then I don't think that this will count toward the caution limit.
Yeah,
that was mechanical.
Yeah, that shouldn't. It was third. It might have been 3rd, but either way, he lost. It looked like he grabbed 4th, but it was bouncing at the rev limiter there for a while before he shifted again. Either way, he lost a gear.
Yeah, even if he would have been able to get to 4th gear, he would have been dogging in the low RPMs, trying to get up to speed. That would have been tough.
Yeah. Accident for Postal. He has retired from the race.
That'll make him the first and only retiree so far.
Yep.
Man, 2 of those guys that stayed out. Instantly in trouble. They're both of them upside down.
Paid off at the 88, though. Chin still at first.
Yeah, and saving fuel.
Yep. Join us back here next Sunday when we do it again. ASR Superspeedway Series continues with race number 2. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, he's going to the pits.
He is going to pit. Oh. Is everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, every time that you pit and top it off with fuel, the less fuel you're going to need later.
Yeah.
You start to
That's
maybe
true.
get into the realm of like can and a half on your last stop kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I never really thought of that. Yeah, if you go in now, like, okay, you can stay out, but then you're going to need a full 2 cans. That's a longer pit stop.
Mm-hmm. Can and a half versus 2 cans is probably like 3 seconds the difference. That's huge.
1 can's massive because then you don't even need to wait for the guy to go grab the second one.
Yeah. The 1 can is going to be your most ideal because, yeah, as you said, it's just the 1 can, so you're just going to sit there for probably about 8 seconds. So you're probably saving an additional 4 seconds compared to a can and a half. Half can, you're probably at about 5 seconds, and a splash, you're probably at like 3 of
Right.
like actual time sitting still. I'm talking about. So
Right.
those are all the weird little games that kind of come into strategy here at the super speedways.
Yeah, there's lots of them. Brad Otto back there, John Godfrey, Paglia, McCarthy, Causey, Sullins, Waugh, Wolf, and Roberts. And there's Slingshot in first, Gary Mingus. Most laps led this evening so far, 16 by Randy Waugh. Fastest lap of the night, 47.842 seconds around at 199.9 CCR Jacks. Flying.
That wouldn't surprise me if we see a 200 lapper.
I think the fastest I've ever seen it was like a 202 and a bit.
Yeah,
which
that
is
sounds about right.
mind-boggling because
But
that's an average lap speed, not peak speed, right? So you need to be over 200 the whole way around this thing and actually clicking up higher than that. Like to get an average speed of over 202 is insane.
Well, if you get things just right, like if you're in like a single file line and it's a little bit spread out and you've got like a horde of cars in front of you and maybe 1 or 2 guys behind you, but you're not needing to lift off for the guy in front of you so that you don't hit him.
Right.
That's usually how you get that kind of a lap time.
Right. You get that perfect lap where you've just been getting the right pushes going down the hill at the right time. And then you're getting like a 202 and go, holy moly.
Terrifying to actually do it. Yeah, 100 yards a second. Yeah, it all counts. Couldn't agree more with what Sandra just said here.
Yeah, in the YouTube chat. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. We got 52 hits on this video tonight. New series, trying to advertise it. Always cool to have people watching this stuff. We do our best.
Yeah, subscribe to Tarnation TV if you haven't already. I could say that because it's me saying it, not you.
Yeah. Subscribe to Top Dragster broadcasting on YouTube as well. Follow Andrew. So you're basically running Sundays and your Tuesdays all the time, right? Every Tuesday?
Yes. Yeah, Tuesday is going all the way until November.
Wow.
And yeah, I think that's
Hobo full season, eh?
Yeah, whole thing.
Nice.
I think we've only missed 3 races so far.
Oh, wow.
I think I've only missed 3. One of them was one that JTN did, and then the other 2 were just ones that they were like, yeah, we don't want this streamed. But otherwise, yeah, we've done all of them. Right now, that's the plan as far as I know. Fast on Sunday nights, we picked up a couple races. We've done a couple so far. Blaine, you were with me for one of them.
Yeah.
And the next one of those, yeah, will be next week. That'll be the Chicago Street Course.
Oh, cool.
And then CCR, we get some one-offs in there here and there. And this Thursday just so happens to be one of them. So that's kind of where we're at right now. But yeah, Tuesday is the guarantee. So that's pretty much where we're at. You guys remember Rusty Wallace turning a non-restricted lap of 2:42?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that. That's why they put restrictor plates in these things, because it was getting silly.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I think the big thing that really kicked that off was when was it Bobby Allison? I think that flew into the fence. It was one of the Allisons.
Because when you crash at that speed, like that's wild, man.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like they can put a restrictor in there and bring them down to like 190, 200. I mean, yeah, you're only talking 40, 50 mile an hour, but that's a big deal.
Yeah. And while, yeah, the argument could be made, this is a tangent, I'm sorry, but while the argument could be made that it's like, oh, their plates make them all close together and the wrecks are way bigger. I mean, the wrecks are bigger in terms of more cars, but they're not going flying into Timbuktu, you know?
No, that's the thing. It's the momentum that they carry on a speed that high is you're going to start killing people.
It was Bobby. Okay. Yeah, that's that is that's a clip of all time. Hopefully we don't see that tonight. We've come close.
Yeah. The fence will catch them here, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, literally.
Yeah.
Swallow them and
even above that fence, there's an invisible wall that goes right into space in this little game here, so I've never seen anybody get over it.
If someone gets over it, you know something's gone wrong.
Yeah. Somebody's messing with the physics. You could do that. You could change the gravity and watch these guys fly. Everything can be adjusted. Just watch TNT Man 93 on YouTube.
Gosh. Pace car has pulled in and the lights are still on. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, we're still under caution. Caution is back out for reason that we are not sure of. Lights are back out, so we should be going back green here. It'll be with 30 laps to go officially.
Yeah, I wonder why that happened.
Oh, there you are.
Somebody wasn't in line. It must have been maybe. But in Talladega, that's rare, though, for them to hold the yellow.
Oh, no, someone just had a problem or blew up, and we missed it because of the whole core thing.
Because I know sometimes, maybe. We might not have seen it because the car could have been invisible.
Yeah, maybe.
They also need to be in line. Like if somebody's out of sequence, they won't throw the green. Like, the 12th place guy needs to be in 12th kind of thing. You know what I
mean? Maybe that's the thing. I'm not sure.
Sometimes they'll say that, like, we're not lined up right. We're going to go one more time around. Like, they'll actually do that, right? So I don't know. But on Talladega being such a massive track, that usually isn't an issue here.
Mm-hmm. Carl Edwards almost did it.
Yeah, I remember that one. I was watching that race.
Dago's a wild place.
Yep.
Well, this is interesting with Randy Waugh in third with a tore up car, it looks like.
Talladega's fence deserves an award for keeping those cars in the track surface, in the racing.
And I don't mean raise it higher, I mean pay it more.
Yeah, it needs a raise. It needs to be compensated for a job well done over the years of keeping cars on the racetrack. Gary Mingus will lead the lap to restart 37 here. Lap 37. Looks like Kazi got out of sorts back there.
They were accordion up there. Everyone was shoving the heck out of each other there.
Onto the back straight they go.
Good.
Looks like Roberts is looking around. Oh, they're going to split Mingus and leave him hanging.
Oh, Mingus getting sucker holes.
Bulldozed. Oh, man, they got the momentum off that turn, and they left Gary hanging.
One that's still in here so far. I mean, they're still freight training him. Looks like the 016.
He went right to the back almost, yeah.
Guys getting awfully close together. Oh, my goodness. That was Paglia and Otto. All good, all clean.
Kazi will lead that lap.
Where does the better shove come from? Is going to be the question here. Waugh looks like he is well and truly up to speed and shoving the heck out of that 55, but a better shove there from McCarthy to Kazi. And with that preferred momentum up there, It's going to give him the lead for now, but it's only 3 cars versus a more tightly packed, like 4 cars on the bottom. Yeah, this is when it can get pretty competitive when it's a situation like this.
Mm-hmm. Keeping an eye on Chin, but these guys did all go down. Everybody did pit, so we're all good to go to the end.
There'll be one more pit stop. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there will be one more. Sorry, yeah, we're at lap 40 right now. So yeah, there will be one more pit stop. But yeah, Chin made that, that call to stay out there a couple times, and he's up there now running, scored in 4th. Of course, that can change astronomically at a track like Talladega, but
McCarthy's going to hang out Causey here. To the point.
on the apron. Looked like Paglia back there, but no big deal. All at a day's work.
Clean, keep me green. That's what we're hoping for.
Dennis McCarthy leading the pack here. Bonus points for him for leading the lap. Cars that have led a lap: McCarthy, Roberts, Waugh, Godfrey, Causey, Chin, Chuck, Wolf, and Slingshot. So 9.
Wow. Literally half the
bonus points
starters
being handed out. Yeah.
Well, here we go for the lead again. Roberts this time. Everybody going with him.
Yeah, I mean it'd be easy to go with Dennis though. I mean, he's on that bottom line. He's got that preferred lane. If anybody wants to jump in behind him though.
Oh, we're getting racy. Oh, we're getting racy now, boys.
Line. Yeah, that top line is moving. Holy moly.
The
old 34
Staggered
jacks
3 by
into the
3.
wall there. 4 wide. Oh my goodness. Oh man, I think they were 4 wide there for a split second.
Ooh.
Yikes.
So we got one more pit stop, boys. Oh my goodness.
Okay,
Is a little bit all over the place.
I'm
Oh,
gonna back that up. Check that out. that had
I'll
to be
keep it
4.
live here. Woo. Ronnie Sullivan's in the lead for now. They're still really pushing off tight on that bottom lane. That's why these guys went up to that middle, because there's way more grip there, way more easy to hold your lane, and way more momentum as a result. You're not needing to crank the wheel as much or even lift off the throttle in some cases.
So I want to say this is 4 wide, but not really. But
it's okay, you can say
almost. I got a pretty good camera angle on that. The 88 is not really making it 4 wide, but you know what? They're still occupying 4 lanes. You can't, like the 55 can't move up any higher. So that's about as 4 wide as you can get right there, ladies and gentlemen. Whoops. Let's not make everybody dizzy. Let's lock that camera before we start moving the mouse. It's a pretty cool screenshot. And back to the race.
I'm seeing what Sandra just said there, talking about I guess Rodney Sullivan's is not much of a Bama fan. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, he just doesn't. He's not a fan of the football team, so he won't push the 21.
Well, he ain't pushing him now. He's getting pushed by everybody else. He's leading this thing.
Yep. Rodney Sullins to the front. 38 leads the last 2 laps. McCarthy, or last 3 laps, sorry. And McCarthy had 2 before him.
Ooh, getting dicey again here. Causey going up to the outside.
Everybody getting a chance at the front line here, which is kind of cool to see. You know, everybody's kind of slicing and dicing their way up front and leading some laps and getting railroaded at the back.
Oh!
Hard hit back there.
That's the spinner. That'll be the yellow.
That'll be our final yellow.
Maybe.
Next one, I think, will end this race. I believe we didn't get confirmation from Wolf, but that last one with the gear shred, I don't think that counts.
I have a feeling that this is not the end of the race yet.
No, I don't think so.
As I'm pretty sure that was mechanical. The other one before that was, I believe that was the ADA got involved in another one.
Yeah, this one definitely. Oh, it was the 88. Yeah.
They almost had it, and then some guys were just really slamming it off that wall. See what led to that here. Causey jumped into the line there, trying not to lose any ground. Oh, it was the 88 and the 29 made contact. I think the 88 just came down a bit, going into the corner, and I guess, yeah, that was a little weird. There was like a couple guys were going for the same piece of real estate.
Yeah.
And that
We're going to get some pitting, I think.
88 like did a pirouette and kept going. But I do believe it's called it a night, and indeed he has.
Yeah, Chin has retired. Almost everyone has pitted.
It's going to be awfully close if you don't top off. But you probably can make it. You're just maybe going to want to save a little bit.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's why those other half dozen guys stayed out. They're going to come in next time around, and maybe the time after that.
Yeah,
to know for sure that they can make it to the end. And just go flat out, pedal to the metal the whole way, maybe. I guess we're going to find out. A lot of different strategies always.
That would probably be my strategy, but again, that's just me usually trying to play it fairly conservative as far as on track, but aggressive on pit road. That's usually how I try to go about it. I don't think I should have said that on the air because now everyone knows what I do.
Yeah. Now we all know your strategy.
Well, sorry, everybody.
Well, you can hear there the engine of the 38 cutting out.
Got 21 laps to go.
Sullen's
save. What? This will be close. This will be close. You probably want to save about a lap, at least, maybe 2, worth of fuel, and then you should be good.
Yeah, lots of clutching going on here with all these guys trying to save up some fuel.
One thing I do want to give credit to is Randy Wan. Despite the fact that thing looks pretty torn up, there is no loss of speed there in that 21, at least when he's drafting with someone. We haven't seen him up in the lead yet since he got that damage.
Yeah.
But at least when he's in traffic, he's still flying.
Mingus going to the pits with Mangialardi and Kelly Causey.
And Finley keeping it out on the racetrack for the time being.
Quick pit stop here for Kelly Causey. No tires, just getting gas. Oh man, one of the wrenches is jammed. You can't say that when you don't take tires.
There's a problem with the gas can.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll find a way.
There'll be something, yeah. Looks like our gas man dropped the can. Give us a second. Oh, come on.
He dropped it on his foot. We're going to have to...
It's funny how I haven't run the stock voices for the crew chief like in decades, but I still remember all the stuff that he says because it's just so good.
There's nothing funnier than just the, oh man, they're showing us the black flag.
Yeah.
Just the way it's said is just so odd.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even run with my spotter or crew chief on. Well, I do with text only, and that's mainly with Doggo. That's just mainly just so that I know like where to line up and stuff.
I love too that the crew chief in the original game is voiced by John St. John, which is the same guy who voices Duke Nukem.
No way.
Yep.
I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, if you've ever played the original Duke Nukem 3D back in like 2001 or whatever.
What a contrast.
Because I was reading the notes, right? Because I actually have this game and I bought it and it's in a box and it has a book, you know, like the instruction manual and all that stuff. So like when you're flipping through that and you get to see all the credits and you're like, you know, crew chief voiced by John St. John, and I'm like, why does that name sound familiar? And then I looked him up and it was because he was the voice of Duke Nukem. You know, so it's like, wow, okay. We got that guy, and then he's the crew chief in here, and it sounds nothing like well, he's a voice actor, right? You just change your voice.
So Duke Nukem is telling you that you've got a black flag and that the air vent's jammed. And
oh, man, you got a black flag. We're going to have to pit next time round. Stop and go penalty. Of course, there's a lot more mature content in a violent first-person shooter game, so it's a big contrast to... Or take the crew chief voice and put him in the Duke Nukem game. That'd be cool, too.
and our crew chief just going in there and blowing everything up.
Yeah.
That'd be too good. Well...
With that North Carolina accent. Kicking doors down, fighting aliens.
It almost does kind of seem like he put on that accent just for the crew chief role, because I don't know, the oh man just seems way too
too fake.
Man, we're getting into some lore now, guys. Sorry for this.
I love it.
I love it. It's all we have way too much fun around here, I swear.
And I've been using the Chad Knaus pack forever. Like I've always just had the same one. When they first released that Chad Knaus one, I've just been using the same one. Never updated, never changed it.
Well, this will be the final restart, no matter what.
Yep. The 49th lap starts with the 38 car of Rodney Sullins leading the pack back. Single file restart.
Everyone should be good on field to the end. Should.
Yep.
As here we go.
And they've all been conserving. We were showing Sullins there under the yellow was doing some deep clutching, making sure to put that tack pin right down to 0 for 20 seconds at a time. That saves a lot of gas, especially when you could do it for a couple of laps under yellow.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Less RPMs, less fuel you're burning. That'll make a big difference. As boy, we got a bit of separation going on here.
Little bits at a time, but when you can do it under caution for 5 minutes, it's a big deal.
Brad Otto's going to have a big head of steam here. Look at this. Let's see if he's going to take advantage of it or just try to save. He's going to go with Ken Roberts, who first to make a move to the outside. Not surprised by that.
Yep. Top line foreman.
Shoving.
Paglia jumped
up there. That's Paglia. Again, no surprise.
Yep.
Oh, and they've got a big head here. Big head of steam.
this spectator camera and this custom camera pack is awesome. You can watch them just drive by that inside line with that 3 wide.
Oh. Goodness, 18 is not happy in the middle lane.
No, he doesn't like that.
And they are pinching the heck out of him.
I was going to
They
say,
are not going to the bottom.
no, he doesn't have a lot of room. That middle lane was very, very tight.
No, they're trying to find the grip, and oh boy.
I had to turn my steering assist up to about 20 to 22% racing at Talladega just to help the car from doing that kind of back and forth wobble. Not really a wobble, but more of like a drifting action where it starts to get a little bit. It's weird. If you don't have that steering assist up, the car tends to float.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And I didn't know about that, but again, getting in with these leagues and having all these guys be so helpful with like, hey, I'm like, man, we see you slipping and sliding around out there.
Oh, they're 4 wide.
They're trying. You know, they're like, how about you try this? And I'm like, oh, I never even knew that. Like, I don't know all these settings. There's tons of settings in the menus.
It made
There's
a
even
big
like
difference.
sub menus too. Like you click on a menu and then there's like another menu inside it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't even know that menu was there.
All just to keep it fun and
Yep.
keep it good. And this is fun to watch.
Yes,
although
it
very
is.
nerve-wracking.
3 wide back here. The 47 there, Brad Otto in the middle of the 7-Eleven and the 55. 18 pushing the 55. That's Chuck T. Trying to get that third line working. They got to get closer to Cossie.
Sullen's leading. Brad Otto did actually have the lead there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little twitchy, like connection-wise.
He had the lead, but he actually never led a lap.
Yeah, he got pretty well swamped pretty quickly. Oh my goodness sake. Blaine, I don't know how long we're going to be able to keep this up. This is sketchy stuff.
Yeah. Now, the front 6 or so, I've kind of just established that. It's up to these other guys to see if they can figure out how to catch them. They got to get consistent with each other and just kind of get in line and go for it. I mean, stay in line, go for it.
And an ideal situation right here, yeah, you click off a few more laps, maybe try to get down to 7 or 8 to go. And then oh, goodness gracious, that was a hit.
Wow. Did he save that? He did.
He held on to it.
Ken
That's going to
Roberts.
cost him.
Wow. Yeah, that's going to lose draft, I think.
Wow.
Roberts hit that wall really hard. It looks a little bit different, too, because we have them we're running that funky core. Our connection to the server, sometimes that looks amplified, but he definitely shot into that wall very hard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was no... that was all legit right there.
Check
That
to
was
see
a very hard hit.
the side damages on the side of that 55 here.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit compromised aerodynamically even too.
He's got definitely got right side damage.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be it right there, but did not go around, so that kept everybody straight.
You should be able to see
we're
that
still
back
going.
tire.
Oh. Sullen's still out front at the moment. Randy Wan's second. Well, Dennis McCarthy up here in third. He's pretty much been keeping it up front here throughout the course of this one.
Yeah, the entire night McCarthy's been up there. Once he got up there, he hasn't really let it slip. Like, he's been there the whole time. He has led, 2 laps. So far, Randy Watt is the leader in laps. He's got 16 laps led. Rodney is going to lead his 13th lap right here. So the bonus points for most laps led as we stand right now is Randy Watt in the 21 car with 16 laps. But it looks like Rodney's coming to get that. He wants those 5 bonus points.
In a short championship like this, that definitely makes a difference. See, we still got 12 cars in this lead draft all the way back to ASR Berge in the 81. All these guys still in it with a chance here, so we're coming around to 10 to go.
I wonder if this plays into any kind of strategy of knowing like the next incident might actually end this race.
It's a weird
5 yellows
catch-22.
for wrecks, you know, and it's like you just gotta you have to be in front. Like if you're planning to make a last lap move, you might not get that far.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, if you're going to be that aggressive, you might be the one to cause that race-ending yellow, and the penalty could actually be far stiffer. So
Yeah.
it's a catch-22.
Yep. And you know, with an 8 race, Godfrey slipping down to the low line, followed by Wolf.
Paglia to the outside.
Bottom line coming
It's
quick.
game on.
Yep.
Oh my. This could get dicey.
This got dicey in the last 5 seconds.
Oh,
Randy. Big sweep from Randy there. Like he slipped on the wheel a little bit, but he kept the hold of it.
Oh, I thought
McCarthy
he was about to pit maneuver the Wolf there.
back to the back. And Paglia to the
Paglia
front.
to the lead.
Yeah.
How about that?
So McCarthy to the back, Paglia to the front. Now, who does Paglia want behind him?
Whoever has the momentum. Oh,
Yeah.
That's gonna check him up. That's gonna be a crash. Oh, yep, there it is.
Whoa, we've just lost someone into the atmosphere.
Oh, race on for the race lead. Godfrey's gonna push his
He
snap
pushed
his
him.
teammate here.
Something wild push. That'll solidify that.
Paglia's gonna win it.
Yep, according to the race rules, that right there. Now, Brian said that everybody will run to the back straightaway and then park it on the back if the race is over. So we will not put the checkered flag into Paglia's hands just yet.
We'll see how they do this. If this is indeed the final result, how cool is that though? That with a very good chance at possible win there was Brad Otto. That's 47.
Yep. I mean, even if this race does end early, we've only got 6 laps left. It was a good race.
It's awesome. Yeah, that was really thrilling stuff there. Really close quarters. Just didn't quite.
I wonder if because that's weird to see him sweep like that. I wonder if something to do with the damaged rear end, maybe just some weird air coming off that thing or something.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and see what actually happened there. I am not quite positive. Sullins, it looks like, was involved.
He's headed to the pits there, yep.
And he just called it a night. Looks like they were 24. Or no, it's a 13, rather. Excuse me. And we'll see what all transpired there.
We will go back and look at the replay. Just waiting to see what happens here.
I've never seen a rule like this implemented, so yeah, I'm waiting to see how they dictate this.
Yeah, they should, according to what Brian was saying, they take the yellow and then they all go park it on the back. I believe that's what he said. And we did see Sullins and Kazi head to the pits. And they retired.
I wonder if they're just letting a scoring update here.
Possibly, yeah. They're going to need an export, right? So they have to wait for the stats.
Mm-hmm.
And as we go on, too, season 2 here at the Superspeedway, they might come up with the ASR Superspeedway series. If they do have a rule book, maybe, it's the 5th incident yellow ends the race unless it's 10 to go. Like, they might add something like that in. So, like, when you're within 10, we'll still run to the end kind of thing, run the laps out. But if you're going to get 5 quick ones, we're done, boys. There could be different tweaks made.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to be kind of feeling it out, kind of playing with different stuff. It's as Brian said, this is something brand new for him and brand new for ASR, and really just all kinds of new stuff. Really, the only thing that's not new is the track and the mod. Outside of that, this is just a whole different ball game. So I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of feeling things out, seeing how how a rule or two goes into effect, new rules being added in, and that's just the natural progression of any new series, even if it's in an established league, and especially with someone different at the helm. You are just going to kind of feel it out as you go along, and I know I've been there when I tried running something on myself, and it went terribly because what I was trying to do was absolutely unfeasible. That was also like 7 years ago, so that doesn't really count.
Well, yeah, and then every series needs to be different, right? So you can't just copy and paste it. Like, okay, if we're talking about like Rolling Thunder, they're going to run their bare bones series. They're going to run their tally challenge. Like, you can't just photocopy the notes from one series to the other, because you want everything to be different. Some guys don't like that format, but they'll show up on Wednesdays instead of Thursdays because they're a bigger fan of the Wednesday format. And some people don't like either of those, but they'll race on Monday because they like the Monday format. They like the mod. The mod's different. The tracks are different. Or they have a road course series and they run Indy cars. There's all kinds of mods in this game. You can literally run a Trans Am series with the 7-speed transmissions and run dirt circuits, and with a whole different rule book. It could be a completely different thing. The possibilities of the combinations are endless when it comes to these things, which is always very cool. It takes us a little while to get used to it all too.
Oh, no doubt. But yeah, as you said, that's the fun of it. You got to adapt. Some guys are better at it than others. I know that I am not.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. I like just jumping in and going.
Yeah, that's why I've kind of... Again, I've settled into like a small league or two that I still run from time to time, but I do miss tearing it up with some of the big dogs. Well, whenever I would actually tear it up with them, which was rare. But I like to think of myself as a pretty competent, decent driver. I can sneak in a win or two here and there, but
yeah. And you're comfortable playing, the game with the controller that you have, and you can jump in anywhere, and everybody knows who you are, and they know you're gonna do it. You're gonna be able to pull it off. When I first got into Rolling Thunder, I kind of just stayed at the back all the time, because you don't want to be the new guy up front wrecking everybody's night, right? I just gonna stay back here and watch these guys, because I hadn't been in the online racing thing for a long time.
I've got to get back on track with you again.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be. That would be cool.
Shut down the broadcast channels and just start a racing team.
I mean, hey, Jets on Mondays. I try to sneak my way in there sometimes. We just got to find a time to do it. These guys have made it all the way to 1 to green. I wonder if we're still going here.
I was expecting the lights to come back on and just stay on till the end. Like, I'm thinking they might just pace it out.
I guess you could do that if you had fans to do that. I don't think these guys do, though.
No, you could throw, as an admin, you could throw up the yellow commands.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I wonder if maybe Brian is asking these guys, hey, we're this close to the end. What do you want to do?
That's what
honestly,
I'm thinking.
I think we're going back green here.
I think so.
Looks like with...
The lights are out.
Wow. Well, so despite the fact that we've hit that caution number,
But
I guess
guys
I guess it's like you said. Maybe since we're within a certain number of laps, it's like, you know what? Let's see this thing through to the end, and we're gonna do it. So Mark Bagley is not your winner yet.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was going to wait before I put the checkered flag in his hand because
I'm glad you did.
Rodney Sellens, he retired. He might have thought the race was done. Berger retired
We're gonna have 4 laps here to figure it out.
We might have 2 angry drivers too, like Rodney and Berge both retired. Maybe thinking that as per the rules the race was done, but I don't know.
Well, here we go. Regardless,
being so close to the end, I think this is a better call. Like, you know, if we're going to get within 10 to go, we got to just finish the race, even if there is a yellow.
Well, one thing is for sure, though, we'll have a look at whatever that wreck was at the end. Everyone is sort of very scattered here. Oh goodness, that was close.
Brian Otto right up there on the right side of Pankley are going for it.
Yeah, and no surprise there. Godfrey sticking with his stablemate.
Yep.
Although, hello there. Who is that? 034 there? Yeah, that's Jax right behind Otto.
Otto and Jax got similar paint jobs.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe they're going to be linked up here. Oh, well, Randy was going to try to change that.
I see Simonic back there looking for a lane.
Here comes McCarthy. They get ahead of Brian Wolf. How long does Godfrey stay content is going to be the big question here. I don't think that he's going to outright push Bagley to the win, but I think he's going to wait a long time. I know that.
But you got to hope that Otto goes with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Otto, he's looking pretty sporty here. It wouldn't surprise me if he's going to try to pull something here soon enough. We are coming to 2 to go.
See, and you could push Paglia to the win and get second place. You could try to pass him and then get railroaded and maybe get 5th place. So
all these different little games here. So goes Brian Wolf.
Yeah, unless you know you can win, you might want to just stay behind him.
Wolf with Kazi.
Yeah, but Kazi and only Kazi, that's the problem. If there was more than just Kazi, you probably would have been able to drive by the 024. But Dennis
the
McCarthy.
024 now is going to have a run, though.
Yeah, this is good for them, yeah. They'll be able to challenge these top
higher.
3.
Everyone else kind of stuck where they're at right now.
Oh.
Wolf goes down. White
McCarthy
flag. We're going to see this thing through.
Yep.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my. It's going to be good. They're going to give these guys a run.
And he's there. He is absolutely there. We are 3 wide there for 5th. 4th or whatever that is. There goes Godfrey. Oh, my goodness.
Somebody call the ambulance. There goes Roberts.
Still racing back, though.
And there goes Otto as well. Yeah, we're racing back to the flag.
See if the 024 is going to have much of anything. He's got a bit of a gap between him and Wolf. But he's going to try for the run on the outside. This is going to be close. Wolf's going to try for himself here.
He needed help from Wolf, and Wolf bailed on him.
Give it to Pags.
Yeah, I think McCarthy could have had it.
He could have, but at the same time, Wolf was going for the win there. Can't fault him.
Yeah. I think Wolf could have pushed McCarthy to the win on that one.
He could have, but at the same time, then you're pretty much conceding. Yeah, I was going to say, you're pretty much conceding your result at that point.
Yeah. No, good finish. I'm happy that they went to the checker on that one.
As am I. That was cool.
Because Talladega in the final laps is always pretty neat. Now we can give him the checkered flag.
Yeah, now he gets it. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at that wreck here on the last lap, and then I'll look at the one prior to that.
Yeah, we might have had bad information too, right? Again, if it was a mechanical failure, we're thinking the race is over, but we don't know the call on the track, so
But
either
actually,
way,
it looked
glorious
like
finish.
it looked like McCarthy kind of came up when Otto was trying to split him and Godfrey, and McDonald's, yeah, the wrong guy, McCarthy. I think just wasn't ready for it and trying to get into the draft with 28. Just two guys going for the same piece of real estate there. That's what caused that wreck on the final lap. At least from what I'm seeing, yeah, Causey in it. And yeah, there's a hit from Roberts. So Mike Mangialardi got a piece of that as well. Now, in regard to what happened to Solins, that was actually a bump from Mangialardi to Causey. It looked like kind of another one of those kind of stack ups.
Oh, okay.
And then that just everyone with 40 in together. I don't know what happened there. Oh, that is a beautiful burnout.
Yeah, it's actually perfect. He was actually keeping it like a perfect circle.
Trainer James Keenan would be very proud.
Yes. Waiting for the engine or the tires to explode.
That is in first, and he throws it into first. I think he's done this a few times. I think he lost first gear.
I think so. Sounds like something's missing.
Yeah, he's still going around in circles. That is a beautiful design that he made there of the burnout, just saying.
Yeah.
Oh man, well earned, well deserved. He had we thought he had it won, but he didn't quite yet. But we saw it through to the end, and he got to win it anyway.
Wild.
And first through third finishing within 74 thousandths of a second of each other. For the first through third. I know it's Talladega, but still, that's pretty freaking close. Shout out to CCR Jax finishing fourth and Adam finishing fifth. That's pretty impressive there. A couple guys that we didn't see up at the front quite as much. Going to get some great results.
I'll save up this, and we'll get to the podium finishing interviews as we always do, the top three or whatever Brian wants to do.
Just give me the word on whoever we want to talk to first then.
Yeah, if you wanted to grab, Wolf's in third, so we can grab Wolf.
Let's find and grab the main man.
3.
Oh, Brian Wolf. Hey now.
Oh, there we go. Okay. I was just telling them top 3, hang around here.
Oh, perfect timing. Because you are the third place.
Yeah, how about that? Kind of got lucky there at the end. We had, I'll tell you what, we had, that was a good race. It was fun. Cars were a little bit twitchy. Everybody kind of, like I said at the beginning, I knew it was going to be a little bit hairy because of the getting used to the setup and being used to running in with this group and stuff like that. But overall, it was a fun race. We came close to that 5 yellow cap, but we didn't have to use it. We actually revised that rule coming in. Also, if that fifth one falls with 10 or under, we're going to continue to go. You know
That's
what I mean?
what we were guessing, yeah. Because
yeah,
I'm thinking
run it out,
we knew you had a couple of mechanical failures in there that weren't going to count. And then we're thinking, well, it's under 10, so they're probably going to run it.
Right. And then, like I said, even though this was our very first race, we did have some glitches. I forgot to set the double file restarts.
Oh,
I forgot to check that box off, so we got a little confused and some black flags there for a minute. But overall, I think big picture of things, I'm going to call it a success so far. Everybody up there seemed to be happy. I didn't have to put any fires out. Yeah. I'm losing my voice. But yeah, I forget who finished second.
McCarthy.
yep, Dennis McCarthy.
Dennis McCarthy. Okay, and then Mark Paglia wins. Congratulations to him. I want to say congratulations to all the guys here at ASR for helping me putting this on, because I think we're going to be a success. I mean, I'm going to have to watch the replay back, but I'm sure you guys had a decent race to call. It got exciting there, a couple times, especially near the end there. The few closing laps got, pretty exciting. So I got lucky with that podium finish. But, I try to practice what I preach around here. Podium finishes and top fives is what's going to win it. So we had a good points night, first night. So, we'll see. But yeah, go ahead and bring down, and thank you guys for doing this. Appreciate it. I don't even know who to really all to thank. All these guys that put their time into this and help me with this, man. I really appreciate it. We're gonna have some fun from the weeks to come, and I'll get you guys some more interviews with some of the. We'll get you some of the league history and and stuff like that, and we'll hopefully some storylines will develop, and we'll see the patterns develop that are gonna be fun to watch here over the next few weeks.
Could you send me the export on Facebook? I saved my export, but it's all blank.
I can here in a minute once I leave the server, which I'm about to do now.
Yeah, for some reason, my entire export is just blank. No drivers. It's got all the fields. But it looked like nobody showed up.
Excuse me
wait
a minute there, Blake.
a minute. Say that again.
I saved the export, but it's like there's no drivers listed on it. So if you could send me yours, and I'll plug it in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Blaine, I do the silly statistics if you ever want to put them on the broadcast, but I've already done them for the league, and I can do them anytime you want.
Oh, do you have them ready for right now, Gary?
Sure, now.
Yeah, right on. If you got them ready to rock, we'll just do them right now. The Slingshot Silly Statistics of the Race. I think I said it properly. And then we will get to McCarthy and Paglia.
Okay, congratulations, of course, to Mark Paglia for his win tonight. The fastest laps of the night, in honorable mention, was Brian Wolf, our fearless leader. In fifth place, Kelly Causey did a 48.125 seconds, 198.982 miles per hour on lap 2. All of the top 4 did their fastest laps on lap 3. In fourth place was ASR Berge, 48.102 seconds, 199.077 miles per hour. John Godfrey took over third for 47.910 seconds, 199.875 miles per hour. And Ken Roberts blistered a 47.860 second, 200.084 miles per hour. And CCR Jacks, Mr. Jackson, did a 47.842 seconds, 200.159 miles per hour on lap 3. Our leaders tonight was 16 lead changes with a number of 12 drivers that spread those out. The lap slid tonight. The top lap leader was Randy Wall with 16, Rodney Sullins with 14, Mark Paglia with 10, Kelly Causey with 7, DC, David Chin, and myself both did 5. And on the 2 lot was Chuck Taylor, Dennis McCarthy, John Godfrey. They each led 2. Brian Wolf, Ed Finley, and Ken Roberts each led 1. The highest climber of the night, of course, was Brian Wolf. He started in 25th, finished 3rd. That's a 22 position change. Very good, Coach Brian Wolf. All right, guys, that's your slingshot silly statistics for the race 1 of the Superspeedway series at ASR.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, I haven't heard the silly statistics in a while. Thanks for that, Gary.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. There's your. I just sent you a file on Facebook, Blaine.
Cool.
So yeah, if we could get. I don't really have any more shout outs. I want to give a shout out to my one buddy at work, Jeff, if he's watching. He was maybe supposed to tune in tonight, but thanks for the favor this afternoon, Jeff. Thanks for tuning in. If you did, everybody who tuned in, I appreciate you coming out. Let's see your comments in the chat box for next week, and let's continue to have some fun. Let's get second place and the winner up here.
So, do we have Dennis McCarthy in the TeamSpeak still?
He is disconnected.
We do not.
Okay. Well, Mark's up then. I can probably do a Dennis McCarthy impression. Sounds a lot like me.
What's going on, man?
Let me get out of here, guys. Good job, Mark.
Appreciate it, Brian. Help. Thanks for the help at the end there, too.
Absolutely. Don't expect it every time. No, good job, man. Good win on the inaugural race. Real proud of all you guys.
Yeah, it's a good race. I appreciate you putting that on for us.
And also move Ken down here.
Yeah, talk about that win there, man, because we thought that Brian was going to go with McCarthy, and then he bailed on him and went low. It almost looked like he tried to make it 3 wide to the line, but I think it helped you.
Yeah,
he was definitely behind you more than he was behind McCarthy.
Yep.
Okay, you guys are all live in the same booth now.
Yeah, buddy.
Pull you all in. But we're interviewing Mark. Good job on the thing. Take it away. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Mark. The floor is yours, man. Congratulations on the win.
Well, thanks, Blaine. You guys always do a good job up there in the booth, but I have to give a shout out to all my teammates out here. You know, Ken and Rodney and Dennis and Kelly and John Godfrey. Too bad Greg Palmer didn't make it tonight, but yeah, we did a good job tonight. I think Rodney was leading in there, and I wanted to make a race of it. I really was, if he won, I would have been just as happy probably, but I wanted to make a race of it, and I got some good help on the outside and got to be able to pass him a little bit, and then he got tangled up. I felt bad for Rodney there at the end, but that happens in racing.
Was there any crazy? I'm always curious about the strategy, especially the strategy of that the way that they're running these yellows here. Like if you have 5 yellows due to actual accidents, because we had a couple in there with it looked like guys shredded gears and stuff, so they didn't count. Is there any kind of pressure to be up the front as fast as possible, just in case you hit that final 5th yellow? To be able to win that thing, because you can't plan a move late in the race if that's going to happen.
You're exactly right. Yeah, that was going through my head, especially when we got to the 3rd count of those cautions. I thought, I got to get up front someplace within striking distance. If that 4th one comes out and then the 5th one, that's the end of the race. So you're exactly right. I was really trying to get somewhere up close to the front there, and I did get tangled up some earlier in the race, and I went in to serve, and I don't even know if that was on me, but I got in the very back of the pack, but I was able to worm my way back up towards the front, and again, with a lot of help from my teammates, I wouldn't have been able to get there.
So the teammates that we're guessing are all the normal crew. Is there any different guys now that you're running in? This is a totally different league, and you ended up, it's like a combination of like 4 different leagues. We saw people from all kinds of leagues in here tonight. So is there any new teammates being added to that pile?
Well, Randy Wall has been working with us too. He's kind of come in the fold with us. He's added a lot to the team, but that last restart, Mike Mangialardi was right there behind me, and actually he was 2 cars behind me. And I think the 47, he was tried to pass me low, but Mangialardi stayed with me, and if he wouldn't have, I would have lost that race. But so Mangialardi really helped me, and then obviously going in the final stretch, Brian Wolf, really made it so I'd win that race.
Are you going to be able to make most of these races, being an 8-race series?
It's a star on my calendar every Sunday night, buddy.
Nice. Yeah, me too.
It was funny. I'll just to pipe in here and then I'll shut up. But as we were coming to the stripe there, when the yellow came out, I knew that was going to end the race. And we weren't even really into turn 3 yet. And somebody said, "Hey, nice win, Mark." And here I come up on his bumper. I'm like, "Hey, we're not done yet."
Yeah, exactly right.
And I don't know if this other guy was just trying to get in your head or what, but excuse me. But I just thought that was kind of humorous that, nobody really listened to him and stayed on the pedal.
Well, yeah, that kind of made me nervous too when they, wanted to hand me the trophy before the race was over. I thought, whoa,
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I got some serious racers behind me.
Oh, we've seen so much stuff happen after the last corner too. Like you come out of 4 into that trial, guys run out of fuel. You could have your wheel disconnect from your computer. Like anything can happen. You jinx that thing pretty quick.
Yeah, going in that last restart there, everybody was pretty close on fuel. I was 1 lap to the good, but I think there was a couple of people that were biting their fingernails on that, whether or not they'd have enough gas.
Nice, man. Well, yeah. Hey, Andrew, did you have anything to ask?
I was really just thinking, Nia, about that fuel situation for you guys prior to the final caution, not the one on the last lap, but the one before that. I knew that you guys were going to be right on that cusp with you guys kind of fitting around that 20-ish lap to go around. But so you were 1 lap to the good even prior to that caution, or was it after that caution?
Prior to that caution. Well, it was the 2 cautions before the very last one, I think it was, where everybody went in and filled up and topped off. And Rodney, who was leading the race, he goes, "I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it," because usually if you're leading, you eat up a lot more gas than people, back in the pack a little bit. So I felt pretty confident I would be able to. It was, you get 20 laps and there was, 19 or 20 to go. But when you're leading the race like Rodney was, he was real iffy. He was going to make it leading.
Gotcha. Okay. Nice. Well, good job, man. That was cool to watch.
I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to rewatching this as soon as tomorrow morning when I get up. I'm going to rewatch and see. You like to wallow in your victories a little bit, so I wanted to be able to see my car.
I feel that.
You deserve it, man. That was a fun race. I got to admit it. That was fun. I hope everybody had fun. I know there's probably a couple disappointed guys that are real good racers, just ran into some bad luck, but hopefully that's out of the way for them, and we'll see them back here next week, and we're gonna continue to have fun. Hopefully some stories will start to develop here, and next it'll get even better. I promise you that.
It will. And just shout out to Mike Mangialardi. He really did help me in that last restart, and then Brian Wolf came in and helped me. So I appreciate that, Brian.
Absolutely.
Awesome, man. Congratulations on the win, Mark. We'll see you here next week, obviously, because why wouldn't you want to come back after a race like that?
You bet. All right. Good night, brother.
All right.
Thanks, man.
We can wrap it up anytime you want, Blaine. Next week I'll probably have some stuff for you. A little bit different each week. So
cool. Yeah, a little broadcasting care package courtesy of Brian Wolf on the weekly basis. Yeah. Some league history, some stuff like that. It'll always be fun, man. But thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to everybody for interacting in the YouTube chat. Of course, we got about 70 or 80 hits on tonight, and of course that'll double tomorrow because, like Mark said, all the drivers will now go back and watch themselves. So we'll get our spikes tonight, and we'll get another spike in the next couple of days with hits. So everybody going back and watching the race back. But always fun.
So Okay, yeah. So Mike and Ken and I are going to get out of here and go talk about a couple of things before we send the points off. And thank you guys. We'll see you next Sunday.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Andrew and I will wrap this thing up, and we'll see you here in a week.
Stand forward.
Toss them out of here. Get out of here. I just hold control and click the 3 names and then drag them all at once. But yeah, man, a great first race as always. And also thank you very much for helping out. Rod was unable to make it tonight, and we'll run a 3-man crew if he is able to make it. If not, it turns into a 2-man race, because doing it by yourself is really boring.
It's tough. Been there a few times.
It's hard. It's not so much boring. It's more, it's just, that's the great word for it. It's just tough.
You gotta find a way to keep interest while pretty much back and forthing with yourself. That's tough.
Well, and trying to make sure that the broadcast, like when you're talking, I'm checking my OBS, make sure everything looks good and the tickers are running and stuff like that. If you're just trying to, your brain can't do all that when you're alone.
Yeah, that's way harder to manage things. So I feel you. I'll definitely try to. Hopefully, if things do open up, that I'll try to be able to make it with you here again soon enough.
Yeah, man. Every Sunday, the open invitation, because if Rod is unable to make it, then we'll find we need a 3rd guy on that seat.
And I'm in, and again, it means a lot for you reaching out to me to do this. Obviously, of course, a couple Sundays here that I won't be able to, but for the ones that I am, I'll definitely see what I'm able to do. But seriously though, man, just you even reaching out, thinking about me to do this, it seriously does mean a lot. And it's a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot for coming out. It's always nice hanging out with you, and you know how this game rolls, which is always a bonus too, to be able to rely on guys to come out and fill those gaps. But yeah, thanks again. Always open invitation on Sundays going forward. And of course, thank you to ASR for having us in here this evening. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales sponsoring this entire season. So thanks to David Chin and Bryant Motorsports. And of course, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.